In the heart of northern Arizona, a colossal wonder stretches across the horizon, the Grand Canyon. Sculpted by the persistent force of the Colorado River over millions of years, this immense chasm reveals layers of Earth's history, etched into its walls. Spanning over 277 miles and descending more than a mile deep, its fiery reds, ochres, and golden hues shift with the rising and setting sun. But look closer. Beneath the grandeur, life thrives. Desert bighorn sheep nimbly traverse steep cliffs, while peregrine falcons soar above, scanning the rugged terrain. The canyon floor, though seemingly barren, hosts a quiet oasis where the river snakes through, nurturing cottonwood trees and an array of hardy plants. The Grand Canyon isn't just a sight to behold. It's a living testament to time, both an eternal masterpiece and an ever-evolving marvel of nature. Towering above the clouds at a staggering 29,000 feet, Mount Everest is Earth's ultimate summit, where the air is thin, the wind bites, and temperatures plummet to unforgiving lows. Known to the locals as Sagarmatha or Chomolungma, it is both a sacred mountain and the pinnacle of human ambition. The slopes are a realm of extremes. Snow leopards and Himalayan tahr roam the lower elevations, while rare, resilient climbers push towards the death zone, where oxygen is scarce and survival becomes a race against time. But Everest's true power lies not in its peak, but in its presence. It looms silently, ancient and unmoved, a giant that reminds humanity of nature's sheer scale and supremacy. Each year, it lures dreamers, daring them to stand, if only for a fleeting moment on top of the world. Beneath the turquoise waters of Australia's Coral Sea lies a world unlike any other, the Great Barrier Reef. Stretching over 1,400 miles, this underwater metropolis is the largest coral reef system on Earth. A vibrant tapestry of life, teeming with over 9,000 species. Delicate coral polyps build colossal reefs that shimmer with color. Home to sea turtles, reef sharks, and schools of parrotfish grazing on algae. In this living, breathing ecosystem, everything is connected. The clownfish shelters within the anemone's tentacles, while giant manta rays glide through deep blue channels in a perpetual dance with the tides. Yet this natural wonder is fragile. Rising ocean temperatures and pollution threaten its existence, reminding us that such beauty demands protection. The Great Barrier Reef is more than a marvel. It is a heartbeat of our planet's oceans, an underwater Eden that we can only hope to preserve for generations to come. At the border between Zambia and Zimbabwe, the mighty Zambezi River plunges over a colossal precipice to create one of the planet's most breathtaking spectacles, Victoria Falls. Known locally as Mosi Oatunya, or the smoke that thunders, the falls roar with unrelenting power as millions of gallons crash down every minute. The mist rises like a living cloud, visible from miles away, drenching the surrounding rainforest in a perpetual shower. Here, vibrant bird life flits between trees, while baboons and elephants move through this lush, mist-fed oasis. Rainbows arch over the chasm, a delicate contrast to the sheer force of the water's descent. But Victoria Falls is more than a feast for the senses. It is a reminder of nature's raw energy and its ability to carve landscapes, inspire legends, and leave us standing in awe at the edge of wonder. The Amazon rainforest, stretching across 9 countries, is the beating green heart of our planet. Spanning over 2.7 million square miles, it is a realm of staggering biodiversity. A living cathedral where life flourishes in layers. The canopy, a dense ceiling of green, hums with the calls of toucans and howler monkeys. Below, elusive jaguars prowl the undergrowth, while capybaras and anacondas inhabit the riverbanks. Over 400 billion trees breathe life into the atmosphere, creating 20% of the world's oxygen, a lifeline for Earth. But the Amazon is more than its size or diversity. It is a cradle of knowledge, a home to indigenous tribes who have lived symbiotically with the land for centuries. Yet this fragile ecosystem faces unprecedented threats. Logging, fires, and deforestation chip away at this vital wilderness. The Amazon reminds us of nature's generosity, but also its vulnerability. Protecting it is not just an option. It is an obligation to the very planet we call home. In the frozen wilderness of Finnish Lapland, the sky transforms into a celestial theater. The Aurora Borealis, or Northern Lights. As darkness settles over snow-laden forests and silent lakes, vibrant curtains of green, violet, and red ripple across the heavens. This ethereal display begins 93 million miles away, where solar winds collide with Earth's magnetic field, igniting the atmosphere in a cosmic dance. The Sami people, indigenous to this land, have long revered these lights as spirits or messages from beyond, a magical bond between sky and earth. On the frozen tundra, reindeer pause beneath the glow, their breath crystallizing in the Arctic air, while huskies pull sleds across vast white plains under the flickering expanse. The Aurora Borealis is fleeting, unpredictable, yet profoundly unforgettable. An otherworldly gift from the cosmos to those who dare to venture north, into the Arctic Circle's serene embrace. In the mist-shrouded mountains of China's Hunan province lies a landscape so otherworldly, it defies imagination. Zhangjiajie National Forest Park. Towering sandstone pillars, some reaching over 1,000 feet, rise from dense green forests like ancient monoliths sculpted by time and weather. Carved by millions of years of erosion, these jagged peaks inspired the floating mountains of Pandora in Avatar. Between the pillars, narrow canyons echo with the calls of macaques and the whispers of the wind weaving through the trees. Streams flow silently below, while clouds drift lazily, wrapping the spires in an ethereal embrace. Zhangjiajie is a realm of mystery, where nature's artistry creates an almost surreal scene. A walk along its paths, or its famous glass bridge, reveals the immense scale of these vertical giants. A landscape that feels less like Earth and more like a dream. If you've enjoyed this video so far, subscribe to Earth Narrated for other similar videos. Hidden deep within Venezuela's remote Canaima National Park lies a spectacle of gravity and grandeur. Angel Falls, the world's tallest waterfall, plunging an astonishing 3,212 feet from the summit of Ollantaytambo. The water seems to fall endlessly, dissolving into mist long before it reaches the jungle below. Fed by tropical rains, the falls are a fleeting ribbon of silver cascading from the heavens. Locally known as Karapakupai Maru, it is sacred to the indigenous Pemon people, who view the towering tapuis, tabletop mountains, as the house of the gods. The roar of the falls is often muted by the dense rainforest, where jaguars, toucans, and capybaras inhabit the shadows. To witness Angel Falls is to stand in nature's cathedral, where time slows, and the immensity of the earth's beauty humbles even the boldest explorer. Here, water defies gravity, and the land itself touches the sky. At the lowest point on Earth, where the deserts of Israel and Jordan meet, lies a body of water like no other, the Dead Sea. At over 1,400 feet below sea level, its waters are so dense with salt that nothing can survive, giving this ancient sea its name. The shoreline shimmers with crystalline salt formations, sculpted by evaporation. Bathers float effortlessly on the surface, buoyed by the mineral-rich water that has drawn visitors for millennia, seeking its reputed healing powers. Around its edges, barren cliffs and dry wadis form a stark contrast to the sea's tranquil surface, a landscape shaped by time and the sun. The Dead Sea is a paradox, a place of desolation yet healing, stillness yet transformation. It is a natural wonder, steeped in history and myth, where Earth's extremes create an experience found nowhere else. In the emerald waters of northeastern Vietnam lies a landscape so surreal it feels otherworldly, Ha Long Bay. Over 1,600 limestone casts and islets rise like ancient sentinels from the sea, shrouded in mist and legend. Carved by millions of years of wind and water, these towering formations create a labyrinth of hidden caves, tranquil lagoons, and secluded beaches. The bay's name, meaning descending dragon, echoes the myth of celestial dragons sent to protect this land, their tails shaping the islands as they descended. Life here moves in harmony with the tides. Fishermen navigate their boats through jade waters, while macaques cling to the cliffs and seabirds circle overhead. At dawn and dusk, the bay glows softly, its stillness broken only by the lapping of waves. Ha Long Bay is a masterpiece of time and nature, a place where beauty and myth converge, inviting us to lose ourselves in its timeless tranquility. In the high plains of Bolivia, a landscape both surreal and infinite stretches to the horizon. Salar de Uyuni, the world's largest salt flat. Covering over 4,000 square miles, this dazzling white expanse was once an ancient lake. Today it lies still and silent, a mosaic of salt crystals glistening under the Andean sun. But when rains arrive, magic happens. A thin layer of water transforms the flats into a giant mirror, reflecting the sky so perfectly that land and heaven blur into one. Flamingos wade through shallow pools, their pink feathers vivid against the stark white, while islands of cacti rise improbably from the salt like sentinels in a dreamscape. Salar de Uyuni is both harsh and enchanting, a place where perspective vanishes and the world feels unbounded. It is Earth's greatest mirror, an endless reflection of beauty, silence, and wonder. In Indonesia's remote archipelago, a prehistoric world still exists, Komodo Island, home to the legendary Komodo dragon. These colossal reptiles, the largest lizards on Earth, roam the island's rugged terrain like living dinosaurs, their forked tongues tasting the air as they hunt for prey. But the island is more than its dragons. Dry savannas stretch under a blazing sun, while hills roll into secluded beaches where turquoise waters lap at golden sands. Beneath the waves, vibrant coral reefs teem with life. Manta rays, sea turtles, and colorful fish thrive in these crystal-clear waters. Komodo Island is a place of contrasts, ancient predators on land, delicate ecosystems under the sea. It is a raw and wild sanctuary, a reminder of Earth's untamed beauty and the creatures that have survived through time. Tucked within the Canadian Rockies, Banff National Park is a sanctuary of pristine wilderness and breathtaking beauty. Glacial peaks rise sharply above emerald lakes, their reflections shimmering in the still waters. Among them, Lake Louise glows like a turquoise gem, fed by ancient glaciers that have shaped this rugged landscape for millennia. Wildlife roams freely here. Grizzly bears lumber through alpine meadows. Elk graze in valleys, and golden eagles soar high above jagged summits. In winter, the park transforms into a wonderland of snow and ice, its frozen lakes and frosted trees creating a world of serene stillness. Banff is nature at its finest, a place where the air is crisp, the water pure, and the mountains eternal. It is both a refuge for the wild and an invitation to witness the unspoiled majesty of Canada's great outdoors. In the Pacific Ocean, 600 miles off Ecuador's coast, lie the isolated Galapagos Islands, a living laboratory where evolution unfolds before our eyes. Volcanic, rugged, and ancient, this archipelago gave rise to Darwin's revolutionary ideas and remains a sanctuary for some of the rarest creatures on Earth. On its rocky shores, marine iguanas bask in the sun, reptiles that have adapted to swim in salt water. Giant tortoises, centuries old, lumber across the grasslands, while blue-footed boobies perform their comical mating dances, oblivious to the presence of humans. Below the waves, hammerhead sharks and playful sea lions share crystal-clear waters, thriving in this pristine ecosystem. Here, life has adapted and endured in astonishing ways. The Galapagos remind us that nature is ingenious, resilient, and irreplaceable, an oasis of biodiversity where each species tells a unique story, sculpted by isolation and time. In the state of Michoacan, Mexico, a modern marvel of nature emerged from the Earth's depths. Pericotin volcano. On a quiet cornfield in 1943, the ground trembled, fissured, and began to spew ash and molten rock, birthing a volcano before the eyes of astonished villagers. Over 9 years, Pericotin grew to a height of over 1,300 feet, consuming entire villages in its relentless path. Today, the blackened lava fields remain, a stark reminder of the Earth's untamed forces. From the ruins of San Juan Parangaricatiro, only the church tower stands, half buried in solidified lava, a haunting symbol of nature's power and resilience. Yet life persists. Hardy cacti and shrubs have reclaimed the volcanic soil, while locals celebrate Pericotin as a wonder. Proof that even the Earth itself is alive, unpredictable, and capable of creating beauty through destruction. Nestled within California's Sierra Nevada, Yosemite Valley stands as a masterpiece carved by time. Towering granite cliffs rise thousands of feet, their faces etched by glaciers that shaped this landscape over millennia. El Capitan and Half Dome dominate the skyline, monuments of stone that defy imagination. The valley floor hums with life. Black bears roam meadows dotted with wildflowers, and the Merced River winds its way through ancient groves of sequoias, giants that have stood for thousands of years. In spring, waterfalls like Yosemite Falls and Bridal Veil Fall thunder down cliffs, their mist catching the light in shimmering rainbows. Yosemite is more than a valley. It is a sanctuary, a place where silence is broken only by the rush of water and the call of ravens soaring high above granite peaks. It is nature in its purest form, a testament to Earth's power to create beauty that stirs the soul. Carved by glaciers during the Ice Age, Milford Sound in New Zealand is a realm of towering peaks, cascading waterfalls, and mist-shrouded fjords. Located in Fiordland National Park, this pristine wilderness is a testament to the forces that shaped our world. Mountains like Mitre Peak rise dramatically from the dark waters, their reflections creating a perfect mirror in the calm fjord. Rain falls here frequently, feeding countless waterfalls that plunge from sheer cliffs, including the majestic Stirling and Bowen Falls. Beneath the surface, unique marine life thrives, with black coral forests found in the fjord's depths. As dolphins glide alongside boats and seals bask on rocky shores, Milford Sound feels alive with nature's presence. It is often called the eighth wonder of the world, a place where time slows, and Earth's beauty is on full display in its purest, most untamed form. In the heart of Siberia lies a natural marvel so vast and ancient it defies comprehension. Lake Baikal. The oldest and deepest freshwater lake on Earth, Baikal holds more water than all of North America's Great Lakes combined. Its waters, clear as glass, descend over 5,000 feet, concealing secrets that date back 25 million years. In winter, the lake freezes into an otherworldly expanse of turquoise ice, its surface cracked with intricate patterns. Beneath, a unique ecosystem thrives. Over 2,500 species live here, many found nowhere else, including the Baikal seal, the only freshwater seal on the planet. Surrounded by snow-capped mountains and dense Siberian forests, Lake Baikal is more than a lake. It is a living fossil, a reservoir of history and life. It stands as a symbol of nature's resilience and the profound mysteries hidden within our world's wildest frontiers. Scattered across the endless blue of the South Pacific, the atolls of French Polynesia are serene, sun-drenched rings of coral encircling tranquil lagoons. Among them, Fakarava, a UNESCO biosphere reserve, is a pristine example of nature's delicate balance. This atoll is a haven for marine life, its crystal-clear lagoon teeming with vibrant coral reefs, reef sharks, and a kaleidoscope of tropical fish. Beneath the waves, the Garoi Pass, the largest pass in French Polynesia, serves as a gateway to the open ocean, drawing schools of grey reef sharks and manta rays into its currents. Above water, the coral islets, or motus, are dotted with coconut palms and small Polynesian villages. Here, time slows to the rhythm of the tides. Blacktip sharks patrol the shallows, while terns and frigate birds soar overhead, their cries blending with the gentle lap of waves. Fakarava is more than a destination. It is a sanctuary where life thrives in harmony with the sea. It is a reminder of the ocean's power to sustain, inspire, and enchant all who journey to its shores. In southwestern Turkey, a dazzling white wonder cascades down the hillside. Pamukkale, meaning cotton castle. This surreal landscape of gleaming terraces and pools is formed by mineral-rich thermal waters, which deposit calcium carbonate as they flow. Over centuries, nature has sculpted Pamukkale into a series of travertine pools that sparkle like snow under the sun. The thermal waters, warm and inviting, have drawn visitors since ancient times. The nearby ruins of Hierapolis, a Greco-Roman spa city, stand as a testament to the site's historic importance. Today, travelers step barefoot into the terraces, their waters glowing pale blue against the stark white stone. Pamukkale is a place where nature's artistry and history intertwine. It is both a geological marvel and a tranquil retreat, a castle not built by men, but by the steady hands of water and time. In the heart of Croatia lies a symphony of water and stone. Plitvice Lakes National Park. A cascading series of 16 lakes, linked by waterfalls and surrounded by lush forests, creates a landscape as vibrant as it is serene. The turquoise waters flow gently from one terrace to another, over moss-covered rocks, carving paths that have existed for thousands of years. Wooden walkways allow visitors to step into this world of wonder, where trout swim lazily in crystal-clear pools, and kingfishers dart across the surface. In autumn, the park erupts in a riot of red, gold, and orange, while winter drapes the waterfalls in frozen stillness, a shimmering display of ice. Plitvice Lakes is nature's harmony made visible, a timeless, ever-changing masterpiece where water, light, and forest combine to create one of Europe's most enchanting natural spectacles. Off the coast of Yemen, in the shimmering waters of the Arabian Sea, lies a place so otherworldly it has been called the Galapagos of the Indian Ocean, Socotra Island. Isolated for millions of years, this remote island is home to flora and fauna found nowhere else on Earth. At its heart stand the iconic dragon's blood trees, their umbrella-like canopies casting shadows over the rugged landscape. These ancient trees, named for their crimson sap, are living relics of a prehistoric world. Nearby, bottle trees with swollen trunks and delicate pink blossoms add to the island's surreal beauty. Socotra's wildlife is equally unique. Endemic birds, like the Socotra starling and sunbird, flit through the arid terrain, while turquoise waters along its coastline teem with vibrant marine life. Pristine beaches and limestone caves further enhance this island's allure, creating an unspoiled paradise where nature reigns supreme. Socotra is not merely a destination. It is a glimpse into a forgotten world, a testament to Earth's evolutionary wonders. It invites exploration while reminding us of the delicate balance that sustains its extraordinary biodiversity. Rising alone on the African plains, Mount Kilimanjaro is a beacon of Earth's beauty and endurance. Towering 19,341 feet above the savannah, it is the highest freestanding mountain in the world, an icon of Tanzania and a challenge for those who dream of reaching its snow-capped summit. The journey begins in lush rainforests at its base, where colobus monkeys swing through ancient trees and orchids bloom in vibrant bursts of color. As climbers ascend, the landscape shifts. Cloud forests give way to alpine meadows, then barren moonscapes where only the hardiest plants survive. At its peak, the glaciers shine like a crown of ice, remnants of a time when this region was far colder. Mount Kilimanjaro is more than a mountain. It is a journey through climates, ecosystems, and time itself. Its presence looms large, a symbol of both the planet's majesty and the fleeting beauty of its frozen heights. Stretching across North Africa like a golden sea, the Sahara Desert is the largest hot desert on Earth. A vast expanse of dunes, rocky plateaus, and endless horizons. Covering over 3.5 million square miles, it is a land of extremes, where scorching days give way to frigid nights, and life must adapt to survive. The iconic sand dunes, some towering over 500 feet, shift and reshape with the wind, creating an ever-changing landscape. But the Sahara is more than its dunes. Hidden within its arid expanse are salt flats, ancient riverbeds, and oases where palm trees thrive, offering life-giving water to both humans and wildlife. Here, resilient creatures like the fennec fox and the desert monitor make their home, while migratory birds traverse its skies. Beneath the surface, secrets of a greener past lie preserved in ancient fossils and prehistoric rock art, reminders of a time when this desert was a lush savanna. The Sahara is a place of solitude and grandeur, where the vastness of nature is both humbling and awe-inspiring. It is a timeless realm, shaped by wind, sun, and the enduring spirit of life. Deep beneath the concrete jungle of Manhattan lies a labyrinthine ecosystem known as the New York City subway. This subterranean network, sprawling across 472 stations, serves as a habitat for millions of urban creatures, humans. A melting pot of personalities, it's a world where survival often depends on wit, reflexes, and an uncanny ability to ignore the bizarre. As the subway doors slide open, the ecosystem comes alive. Commuters surge in like a stampede of wildebeests, each vying for a precious seat, or at least a handrail not too sticky. At one end of the car, a busker performs an impromptu concert on a broken ukulele, while at the other, two passengers engage in a heated territorial dispute over whose bag gets the coveted extra square inch of floor space. The New York subway is not just a mode of transport. It's a living, breathing theater of human resilience and unpredictability. A place where the unexpected isn't just likely, it's guaranteed. Here, the survival of the fittest takes on a whole new meaning, one delayed train at a time. Since you made it all the way until the end, please subscribe to Earth Narrated. Click the thumbs up button and comment which of these places you'd like to visit the most. Keep watching by clicking on your screen now.